Varhapidam Natavaravapu Karnayo Karnikaram Vibhadvasa Kanakakavisham Vajayantim Chamalam Randhran Veno Adharasudaya Purayan Gopavrinday Vrindaranyam Swapadaramaṇo Pravishadgita Kirti. My blissful gorgeous selves, let us go to Vrindavan. Now the Lord felt strong urges and pulls by the anguish of 24 woodlands of Vrindavan and Giriraj Govardhan and Yamuna Ji with guardian angels of her various different banks and beaches. They have been waiting for the Lord since long. Now they grew impatient. They worried. Why have we still bereft of the footprints of the Lord? Are we still not worthy enough? Okay. Meditation. Loving madly to Krishna is the way to erase all unworthiness. So we must meditate. So they launched on intensive, deep, long meditation. And Lord felt the heat of their aching heart. He made his mind to move to Vrindavan. His will reflected on minds of all the senior Gopas. Wherever they met, they talked about the fall of two gigantic trees. Oh, how come these huge trees, so strong and firm as they were? We have been seeing them since the time of our forefathers. They fell suddenly without wind or rain. It might be indication of some pending danger. News spread far and wide. Nandaji worried. He called for a meeting. Thousands of Gopas came in their colorful dresses and big turbans and filled all the seats of Nanda Mama's large auditorium. Pin drop silence spread. Upanandaji stood up and spoke. He was advanced in wisdom and age, my dear friends, in the whole of Brajmandal. He said, my dear friends, Gokul has not been safe and secure for our children since last couple of years. Our children, especially Krishna, is the life of our life, and ever since he was a week old, he has been in repeated attacks of alien creatures. Although our fortune rescued him from grave attacks of Ogress Putana, Ogre Trinavarta, Utkach, and Kagasur, now the fall of these two gigantic trees while Krishna was there has alarmed us of some evil portent of a serious kind. We cannot risk any more. Vanam Vrindavanam Nama Pashavyam Navakananam Gopa Gopi Gavam Sevyam Yadre Trinavirudham. There is a forest, Vrindavan by name, full of evergreen woodlands, sacred hills, and plants, as if pleases you. If it is pleasing to you, we must live there. Then, with one voice, all Gopas spoke aloud. This is wonderful, dear Upanandaji. We have been thinking to move, did not know where. Thank you so much. please tell us when we must move. With pleasure or even with fear, when some action is accepted as duty, it must be done as soon as possible. Shandilyaji said, today is the auspicious day. In that case, everybody said we must go this very day. Why delay? Get all carts ready and our cows proceed ahead. Gopas poke each other and lo, Jiva Goswami sings in great joy of moving with Krishna. Tadavraje kala kala koti duthita hi ji ji karamisrita ghadad ghadad ghadaditi shakatarava savadyaka punah rakhilam gilah kiti. Then soon great sound of cow calling and cart moving echoed in Gokul. Bells and music of departure resounded. Decorated milkmaids boarded the cars, and lo, thousands of them moved on following the cows. Shukdevi sings, Tadai Yodarohinya Vekam Chakatamastite Rejatu Krishna Ramabhyam Tat Katha Sravanotsuke. Rohini and Yashodaji sat on one cart. On the mattress they sat Krishna and Balram with pillows on their backs, singing the pastimes of the Lord. The cavern marched on, my dear friends. Friends, all gopas, all cows, all gopis, singing, dancing, looking all around, proceeded with great music. Upananda described absolute Brahm, my dear friends. Okay, Upanishad describes absolute Brahm in the form of forest. That forest has materialized as Vrindavan. In it one juicy God, liquid divinity, shines in trees, mountains, forests, desire trees, and holy cows, and dust, and sunshine. Each of them, all of them are objects of meditation. Looking at such a Vrindavan, supreme joy filled the heart of Krishna. Vrindavanam Govardhanam Yamuna Pulinani cha Vikhyasi Uttama Priti Ramamadavayor Nripa. Arriving on the bank of Yamuna, Krishna jumped out of the cart and overfilled with hilarious joy, shouting out his friends. He rushed into thick growths, my dear, looking left and right, stepping cautiously. He roamed around on all sides, experiencing his touch. Vrindavan was filled. In him then shone forth all gems and jewels and rubies, diamonds and pearls, all popped out. Their shimmerings dazzled the eyesight of all dignitaries of the whole Brahmanda, the cosmic egg, singing with cooings of cuckoos, dancing with rejoicing peacock, dealing with sprouts and roots. Krishna celebrated the festival of his arrival in Vrindavan, my dear friend. Sri Swami Prabodhananda Singh, Jayati Jayati Vrindaranyamananda Sindhu Anupama Mivasaro Sharada Kotya Kathyayi Khagamrigatarvalli Kunjavapi Tadaga Alagiri Hridani Namadbhutai Sobhagadyai. All glories to Sri Vrindavan beyond the description of millions of bodies of learning. The essence of bliss ocean, adorned with auspicious prosperity is of ponds, hills, bushes, bowers, vines, deer, birds. Oh Vrindavan, I love you dear very much. The whole cavern, stationed in the shape of half moon. Next day, they inhabited a magnificent town in 16 miles of square. In the center was the palace of Nandarai. In his left and right his brothers built their mansions. According to devotion and bhava and mellows and feelings and setup of emotions, all gopas and gopis built their homes and streets and ghats and so many things. Now, my dear friends, no more breastfeeding. His limbs grew sturdier, his eyes grew restless. Now Krishna, his countenance shines with smiles always. He loves to play with his friends. Krishna wears golden and Balaram wears blue silks. Mother puts peace, a nice new dress on them every day carefully. But Krishna, as if doubting whether I am bound again, he takes them off, then he puts them back on himself, but fails to dress himself properly, my dear. He feels very shy. Soon he discovered a flute and invented innumerable tunes and melodies, my dear. He began playing flute in Tribhangalalit pose of standing. It involved three curves of foot, hip and shoulder. He stood anywhere under some tree, especially Kadamba tree. His eyes would go half closed, lips blowing air, and left hand holding the flute, while right hand fingers danced on the holes of the flute. It resounded as if showering nectar to the ears. Small Gopa boys gathered around and listened all in trance. Cows ran down, milkmaids ran down, Mother Yashoda and Rohini ran down, trees and vines blossomed, dripping maple syrup abundantly. Flowers began showering from the sky. All friends, milkmaids and moms are sitting in trance. Krishna reached Yashoda and shaking her up, he said, "Are you sleeping, Mom? I am hungry." As if awoke from deep sleep and startled, mother picked him in her lap and kissed and said, "Live long, my son, live long and to eon. When and where, how did you learn to play flute so enchanting and entrancing?" And she looked all assembled gathering and said aloud, "Come, all of you, my dear boys, my dear gopis and gopas, all. I'll give a grand feast on this historic occasion of my son's access to divine melodies." They all sat on many rows, and maids of Yashoda served them with perfuming pies and puris and vegetables and palak paneer and so many varieties of vegetables. Among laughters and jeers, they dined together with Krishna. Then mom gave them various gifts of clothes, gems, necklaces and rings. Since that day, Krishna became intoxicating flute player, my dear friends. अथ वृन्दावने राजन् सर्वगोपालसम्मतौ बभुव दुर्वत्सपालौ रामकृष्णौ मनोहरौ चारयामास सर्वस्यान् kalindi nikde punye puline Ram Keshavo Nikunjeshu Jakunjeshu Sampralina Vitastata Ringamano Jagundrame Nandandau Jera Durvane. On the 8th of Kartika's bright fourth night among another big festival and feast, Krishna and Balram began leading the calf to pasture in suburban groves with his friends by Yamuna banks, my dear friends. Their anklet jingling, belt bells ringing and wearing illuminating crown, necklaces, earrings, and yellow-blue silk. Krishna and Balram moved from one bower to another, from one wine canopy to another, enjoying, playing, enlightening every boy's heart. The holy Ganga of Krishna's sweetest pastime began to flow, my dear friends. Krishna Lila enlightens us by being aware of demons, of distance producing unawareness and forgetfulness who pop in in your love life. Okay? The demons of your love life. Okay? Be aware of them. The nature of love is giving one's heart, whole of heart, starting with an attention or awareness of belongingness. That's love. God realization means your whole of heart is always at the feet of God. Not even for a single moment you go on a vacation. Bhakti means putting oneself on the share of God, property of God you become. As soon as Mother Yashoda stops looking at Krishna and became socialized, which means scattered mindset, there came ogress Putana. She starts looking at Putana, so Krishna goes in her lap. Everyone who loves has to be alert and watch which form Putana demoness comes to ruin your love life. Okay, jealousy, competition, ambition, or others. Mother looks at the crowd and not to Krishna sleeping on the cradle. There came Shaktasur, Trinavart, and so many. When mother bound Krishna with mortar and involved in household duties, then Krishna broke, tangled into gigantic trees. Krishna tangled into gigantic trees which symbolized ego-rooted, puffed-up state, ever dungeonizing state of mindset. Okay, that's it. Although everybody feels he or she is qualified to love, it is his birthright. But after loving, if you have complaints and pains and heartbreaks, you were not qualified for love. The only qualification of love is to have talent, to recognize whether there is some conscious-scented demon putting electrode or dynamite in the head of your loved one. Is there consa-mailed a letter bomb arrive to you, assuming the form of your loved one? Is there electrode in the skull of your boyfriend, your loved one, operated by a demon? What do I mean, my dear friends? I mean the only qualification to love or to make love is not just to be well versed and proficient in Kokosastra, the art of love making or relationship, but how to recognize your lover or your beloved is not hungry just for your fleshy body, stylish body, your car, your fortune, to be able to understand his or her intention is to lead you to the true happiness or to the sheer misery. Okay? If he or she intends to lead you to enlightenment, then even if he or she is enemy or foreigner or a stranger, he or she is a friend. If intends to take you to the miseries of the worldly involvements, then even if she is intimate, he or she is an enemy. To recognize, to be talented enough, to have common sense to understand in a single glance, in a single eye contact, that your fiance is your enemy or friend is the only qualification to love. You can evolve this talent, this capacity of recognition, the heart, the vibration of everyone you meet. Through Krishna Leela you can recognize. You can develop this talent. Demon Vatsasur comes in your love life showing lots of love through heavy kisses, sensational embraces, and promising ownness, and much intimacy, much touching, much touching. Promising lots of big, huge rose gardens. Demon Bakasur comes to you in the form of a double-faced promise breaker, restless hypocrite in your love life. Demon Aghasur comes in your love life assuming the form of your loved one, hiding in his or her heart a tossing, turning, green-eyed monster cobra of jealousy. Cannot stand others' happiness, cannot bear others' speciality, greatness, even it is proven and confirmed by all others, he or she disdains and accuses for nominal or self-invented or speculated blunders. Secondly, such people like to disturb or destroy, if powerful enough, to all those whom God or fate has provided with good fortune. Thirdly, such people set wealth, prestige, and ambitions on the throne of God. Either they are atheists, straight away, and deny God's existence. They worry, well, if there is God, then where shall I be? What will be my position? Where shall I stand? As Albert Camus said, if they happen to be God believers, even if they go to temples, churches, gurudwaras, still they act and entertain with others so insensitively, almost like cattle, because secretly they have set wealth, fame, and material success on the throne of God and turned God into a common commodity. These highly dangerous demons come in your love life assuming astoundingly beautiful forms, prettier than movie stars, playboys, and Miss Universes, my dear friend. They become your lover or beloved, girlfriend, boyfriend. Once you accept them, you too turn demon or demoness, ogre and ogress, like that vampire whose neck he sucked the blood, lost his or her humanness and turned vampire. Same way, whom you love, his or her breath, bacteria, germs of HIV, virus, of mental diseases, start polluting your purity of heart. It takes time to destroy all your inner purity and turns you into a 100% demon, a HIV patient. That's why when you are going through birth pain of a demon, you scream out and search for someone to help you to get out of this mini hell called life, to rescue you from agony, pain, and suffering in your love life. Okay? When Muslims conquered Zoroastrians and their country Iran, which has its own unique, beautiful culture, religion, and history, civilization, and much healthier way of life. Mm, And when Muslims conquered and established Muslim rule, then they were troubled because there were many revolutions, agitations, and revolts from the citizens who were pure and wise. Then they started converting them into Muslim forcibly for tricks, for power, with rape, murder, and persecution. They started forcing their Muslim religion on them. Then all Iranians turned Muslims. Nobody now speaks out for wisdom and justice. All turned just mm, cooked into Muslims, producing Khomeinis and similar people. Okay? So, my dear friends, Aghasur demon tries to swallow up all those enjoying gifts of your true love. He appears to have almost devoured even God. But God shines out sooner or later, saving all his own. Even such great demons disguising themselves, when come to Krishna, he helps them, he delivers them, liberates them. If you don't have a special faculty to recognize the demons in a single eye contact, here are some guidelines, my dear friends. When you worry, oh my, what will happen to my parents, to my wife, to my children and job? If I walk on the path of God, then what happened to them? What will happen to them? What they will eat? My family will starve. My father-in-law will get heartbreak. My children will think I have gone senile and my wife will sue me in the court. Thus, you postpone your homework for enlightenment. When your children are grown up, then you still feel compulsory to work for their kids. This is when you are an Indian householder. The ego that I feed, I nourish these members of my family, tortures you endlessly. The demon Vatsasur comes in your life in the form of filial affection to your loved one. Krishna's pastimes educate us. As long as we consider this person loves me, I love that person, I got to take care of this kinsman, arrange a nice wedding for that grandson. So long you are stuck in the merry-go-round of worldliness. You miss the abiding bliss of experience of transcendent reality, my dear friends. So, secret meeting of demons was held underground the palace of Kansa in Mathura. They were brainstorming for an hour for how to kill Krishna. Kansa was very optimistic in his mission. Since Krishna goes to nearby mini forests to pasture calves, he can be now grabbed very easily and killed. For this, he elected mighty Vatsasur. King Parikshit asked, Holy Sire, tell me who is him? Shukdevji Maharaj says, Dear king, he was Pramil in his past life, the same ambitious son of demon Mur who had gone on his world conquest before. He happened to see the wish-fulfilling holy cow of sage Vasishtha. He was captivated to own it. He knew the enormous power of sage Vasishtha. He could not dare to confront him. He also knew his overflowing generosity towards wise men, so he assumed the form of a wise man, wearing wooden sandals, white dhoti, beads, long hair, long beard. He approached the sage and requested him to donate his holy cow. Okay, I am going to get her, Vasishthaji left, and soon appeared with a holy cow. As soon as the holy cow mm, knew she is being donated to a stranger, she looked up at him and he could not deceive her eyes. Her sight penetrated and saw who he was, a ferocious, sensual demon disguised as wise man. Oh, you rascal demon, how dare you fool my innocent sage Vasishtha and coveted to own me? Go turn into a calf and suffer the pain as a result of your misdeed. Soon the heavy spell of curse fell on him, and within moments, tall, handsome, big-muscled young man turned into a small baby cow. Still his memory was not lost. He repented and begged for pardon. Vasishtham gam parikramya natva trahityuvachaha. Circumambulated and fell at their feet prostrate. He cried so hard. Then the holy cow said, at the end of Dwapar Yuga, the Copper Age, when Lord Krishna will incarnate, you will plot to kill him in the form of God he so dearly loved. Then he will deliver you from this species. Now, at least there is an expiry. Since then, Pramila lived in many places all over the world. During his world conquest, Kansa had fought and won him and brought to Mathura. Since then he was part of his wicked team. Kansa sent him to join the herd of cows Krishna is pasturing. When he is closer and unaware, just to take and kill him. He had come to Vrindavan Grove now, impatiently waiting, hiding in the bushes. अविदूरे व्रजवास गोपालदारकै चारयामास दुर्वंशान् नानाक्रीडाभरिञ्जदौ क्वचिद्वादयतो वेणुं क्षेपणैः वदग्वजेत् क्वचिद्वादय किङ्कणैः क्वचिद्रेन्द्रिमगोरेजैः वृषाय बाणौ नर्दन्दौ युयुधादे परस्परौ अनुगद्य हृदयप्रयजन्तुं शेरदो ब्राह्मृदौ यथा. Equipped with various toys, they walked to the woodland surrounded with small boys of his age. Many snow white and colorful cows, white joined walked at the front, while gopis and gopas stood both sides of the path, showering on them soft petals of flower and waving ghee flame called arati around his face. With hundreds of gopis, Yashoda mom kissed and embraced her baby. She did arati, put red paste on his forehead, and gave farewell with tears in her eyes. The team moved on while all inhabitants looking lovingly with their unwinking eyes. क्वचिद्वादयतो वेणुम् क्वचिद्वादयतो वेणु. Arriving in the woods, calves were scattered grazing green grass, while Krishna, with his anklet jingling, gold bells ringing, walking with the friends, joined the beauty of nature. At times he stood under a tree and played his flute, my dear. Other times they all played hurling stones through slings. Sometimes they played football, kicking it with their foot, making tinkling sound with tiny bells fastened to their girdle. Other times all boys played acting like bulls, bellowing like them. Other times They imitated different animals, mimicking their voice. Thus they moved about in the woods, my dear friend. Right then, the ancient Pramila demon as Vatsasur in the form of calf mixed among the calves and acting like one of them, nibbling grass, came closer to Krishna to kill him. His evil intention reflected in the mind of Krishna, and he became careful. Let his friends not get hurt, he took Balaram and walked away into a cozy corner observing his calves. Showing surprise, pointing to this new calves fast approaching him, he talked for a minute. Then as the demon leaped to attack him, he swiftly bowed and seized him by his hind legs and tail. Lifting him up above, he began revolving him round and around and around and around and around, as if found a new toy to play. The demon tried all his power to get free, but he felt as if caught under the pressure of enormous strength. No way to escape, and no way to do anything of his own. While, while being hurled, his demon form popped out. All boys saw what was happening. Oh God, my dear Krishna, he is no more a cow, he is a demon. Don't leave him or he will attack. They shouted aloud, and with their uplifted canes they ran down closer to their friend. But by then, demon had already died, dashed by Krishna on the top of Kapitha trees. Well done, bravo, highly surprised. Shout of applause came from all friends, my dear. The denizens of heaven showered flowers. Devarsha Santushta Bhavo Pushpa Varshina. Exactly just like this, when you conquer your filial affections, emotional taboos, and physical ties, and march towards God realization, you too are applauded and praised by invisible astral beings who know the importance of your step. Although you may get accuses and grumbles and charges from your family members, kinsmen, society, friends, but the denizens of heaven do shower flowers upon you. You are able to see it or not, but you feel it in the form of inner peace and pleasure, provided you are not an either or person, okay? The Gopa boys surrounded their friend all along that day, so no other havoc fell on him. No other havoc fell on him, so they took care and guarded him. They kept looking his palms, which got too reddish by holding the demon too hard. They massaged it. Each one did something to heal. They ate their lunch at midday. In evening they returned, happily dancing, playing flute and singing. Milkmaids of Vrindavan ran down and crowded their balconies, rooftops, windows, doors, and both sides of the path, gazing lovingly, winklessly, as if feasting on nectar to their eyes and ears. Many showering perfuming flowers, others waving ghee flame or illuminating gems holding on gold plate. They were moving. They too began singing songs of union with the Lord. Gopa boys were composing new songs on today's pastimes of their friend and singing them with music. Gopis and Gopas are pained to hear of a new attack on Krishna, but they were happy that Krishna was victorious and now smiling like an actor surrounded by many actors. Krishna is playing flute on his own ecstasy, walking dancingly, glancing at milkmaid, expressing various feelings, emotions and mellows of transcendental love. Now they arrived at the large door of Nanda Bhavan. Mother Yashoda, Mother Rohini, surrounded with many gopis, stood full of affection, waved ghee flame, arati, and lo, embraced them tightly. Tears of love came to their eyes, and holding their hands took them in the home. Attendants took all cars into their shade, and lo, great festivities spread in and through entire Brajamandal, my dear friend. Om, 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 om. Field of relativity, especially this material world, is such that even if great joy is poured on you, after a while you get tired of it. A change is necessary. Suffering brings a new zest, a freshness to your joy. Sweets require chili or at least salt, not always mild and sweet, but hard and startling melodies are also compulsory. For music to be popular, okay, that is also necessary. Same way, in a drama, in a novel, a literature, villain's role is also required. In the pastimes of Krishna, in our world, occasional interference of demons is obvious. Demons too are devotees of the Lord. The difference is only of the path. Devotees follow the path of love. Demons follow the path of aversion. However you travel, the path leads to the deliverance. Now let me tell you that nowadays fishing is a fashion in America. And it is a way of relaxation. Even big businessmen, senators, and presidents too on their vacations go for fishing. Mm. But in India, only Shudras do that kind of thing known as lemur, fisherman's class. Mm, not high class people. Rani Rasmani, who built the Dakshineshwar temple in Kolkata, belonged to this class. Therefore, all Brahmins denied to become priests in her temple. Even she lured them with biggest salary. They did not go. Ultimately, out of compassion, Ramakrishna Paramahansa accepted to be the priest in her temple. But my dear friends, there was time in India too that fishing was pleasant adventure even among the elites. Many thousand years ago, Prince Utkal, the son of Hayagri, ruled over entire globe, mm, which was a ferocious government. He was ruthless, so he used to be very tense. In order to release his tension, he used to grab his fishing reed and move to a nearby beach. That day, it happens to be near the hermitage of Sage Jajali at Gangasagar beach. He sat there with his fishing reed up and thread in the water, tied with fish food in thorn. As soon as fish took bite of it, it was caught at once. Utkal, who sat so meditatingly, pulled it and dumped it in the frying pan. He kept eating fried fish and kept catching them, new ones, so meditatively. So said Jajali just completed his long meditation, very sensitive as he was. He saw this, he felt so compassionate towards the fishes that he warned him not to do so. They also have feelings of pain and pleasure, he explained to him. It is anti-human to kill them, he said. But he insisted, this Utkal insisted that God made all animals mm, to animals of the creation for men to eat. He did not stop. At last, the sage cursed him to turn into a star whose meditativeness is just aims at selfish ends. Like a magic spell, soon his handsome and mighty body started turning into a star. Utkal was scared and tried to stop it, but in an hour he was full-fledged huge star, my dear friend. Exactly as when a Hindu is forced by Muslim or Christian missionaries, mm, mm, the dreaded conversion, he feels horrible. His all piety and grace and relation with a long tradition of history is broken. He becomes as an ogre, a monster, completely an enemy to his original parents' home and traditions and religion and civilization and way of life. He becomes a full-fledged traitor in sometimes he facilitates himself in that way of life. Utkal fell down. Utkal felt a great change in him and he became afraid what is happening. And he fell down at the feet of the sage and apologized and begged pardon. Jajali's heart melted. He assured, nothing can change my curse. By the end of Dwapar Yuga, of 28th of Vayosuk Manvantara in Mathura sphere, Lord Krishna will incarnate. Paripurnatama Sakshat Sri Krishna Bhagavan Swayam Vrindavane Gavam Vatsam Charayan Vicharishyate, and holy Ganga of his divine pastimes will be flowing, my dear. Then you will go there with a mission to kill. Tanmayatam Krishna Yasasitvam na sanchaya. Then instead of killing him, you will be killed by him. That's where you will be liberated. Since then, this demon in the form of gigantic star had settled with the situation and enjoying life in his own way, exactly as Hindus all over the world turned Christians and Muslims, now enjoying their full all over everywhere. They have forgotten their ancestry and ancient glory and grace. Circumstances have made mm, him to join the mafia gang of wicked Kansa. Okay? The gigantic star, I mean this monster. Kansa called him in private, and after a delicious breakfast, he said, Putana was your sister. I had sent her to kill my enemy at Vrindavan, but instead she was killed. I think there must be fitting revenge. I have heard the little assassin comes in the woods every day to pasture his cows. Good place to kill. Don't worry, His Majesty, he said. I am going there today in the form of stark as I am always. I will devour him up. He cannot survive anymore. I will be back for lunch with you. Bakasur said and laughed carelessly. Kansa was assured. He gave him a nice farewell. He left. He came to Vrindavan disguised as a heron, stood near a pond, my dear. Friends of Krishna came with cups to drink water and saw him like a piece of hill of snow. As soon as he saw Krishna, he just caught him by his beak and just swallowed like a morsel. As if lifeless, the boys fell on the ground. It is my name which should be in your mouth, not my former wicked demon, Krishna said. And suddenly Bakasur felt as if he had gobbled up not a boy, but a ball of fire burning his throat. He was scared to his grandpa. Consequently, he disgorged Krishna. Then he rushed with great wrath to kill him with his beaks. But before he could struck Krishna, he seized him by his beaks and tore him down in two halves like blade of straw, while some of his friends still looking on. Wow, wonderful, they are shouted with great joy. Then denizens of celestial world began to shower jasmine rose petals and cheered with playing drums, blowing conches and singing praises. Many Many fainted friends rose up by now, and all embraced Krishna, gave him a nice bath, decorated him well. Then, collecting the cars, they drove them back towards Brajmandal, Vrindavan. Singing, dancing, festive, they saw all gopis and gopas waiting for them on the path. They narrated the incident, astonished to hear that, looking at smiling Krishna with thirsty eyes who had returned from the jaws of death. Pretyagatanivotsukyad ekshanta trishitekshanah. They spoke to one another, oh dear me, listen. Aho brahmavidam vacho na satya santi karhijit. Gargo yada bhagavananvabhavidasaivadat. All the words of the enlightened saints are fully verified. Thus, listening and telling the stories of Lord Krishna, the gopis and gopas of Vrindavan completely escaped the agonies of mundane life. एवं व्यारै कौमारै कौमारं जातुर्व्रजे निलायनै सेतुवन्दैर्मर्गडोत्प्लवनादिभिः. Sometimes hide and seek, other times making toy games, and other times jumping like monkeys. This is how Lord Krishna spent his childhood days in Vrindavan, my dear friends. Remembering them, conversing about them, the gopis and gopas knew no pains and problems of the world. So also, O 6 billion human beings of the world, you may also rise beyond your problems and suffering, listening to these ambrosial pastimes of Sri Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Arati Kunja Vihari ki Hare Krishna Murari ki Gale mein Vaijanti Mala Bajavai Madhur Murali Madhur Bala Raman mein Kundala Kala Nand Gaya Nanda Nanda Lala Gagana Samayang Gandhi Gali Radhika Jamagarai Ali Ladan Vaitare Vanmali Brahmarsi Alak Kasturi Dilak Chandrasi Jalak Alalit Javi Shama Vyari Ki Kanakamaya Mora Muguda Vilazay Devada Darzan Gudarzay Gagana Zosuman Rasi Varazay Janga madhura miradanga gvalini dang atularati gopakumari ge yamagadi unjala dadarenu चमकरही उज्जवल दड रेणु बज रही वृंदावन वेणु योदिश गोपी ग्वाल धेनु हसत मृदु मंद चांदनी चंद कटत भव फंद तेर सुनी बिहारी गे आरती गुंज बिहारी गे गिरधर कृष्ण मुरारे की ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय